Do you want me to email Tony and CC everybody about what steps need to be taken for it?
Yeah, if you'd like to do that, or Tyler or something.
Yes, like what I brought before is like, as far as the regular noises, excluding that, it's like being able to hear it from so far away from a residence. That to determine how loud it is then, because,
Yeah.
I don't have a decibel meter or anything on me or nothing like that.
Yeah, and I know in the statute book, there's like specific counties and highways and cities that are listed in there.
Why can you throttle that back so it's not as loud on that jig brake?
Or not use it.
Yeah,
Or not,
but it's like, lightly hitting your horn, you know what I mean?
Not to.
Years. The other thing, Tyler, too, we might want to get with, since we're dealing with the state or whoever controls the light poles as you're heading east out of town, a lot of those bulbs are out.
I take care of that. If you let me know which.
I will get you tag numbers off those poles.
Or just even the address, I go online and I punch right
Okay.
on it, and they're good
And I
about.
know there's one down by 95, 94. I know that one's out. Would be Coverdale's house where it sits, which is next door.
Sure.
Yep, there.
Yeah, just give me a list.
Because it took us a long time to get those put in, and I actually helped fight to get those in because it was too dark.
Take care of it for you.
Gosh, they've probably been out for a while because I can't even picture where you're talking. And we're out there quite a bit.
If you look at, yeah, because they're out.
Yeah.
You really do miss it, but yeah.
Is that all?
Yes.
Gary, anything else, sir?
The other one I was gonna complain about, I haven't heard for a while, that's that guy in that crotch rocket that goes through here about 90 mile an hour.
Yeah, he was actually out by.
This is 19.
Is
That
it
was
kid?
the white one, white bike.
Was it the younger kid?
Yeah, I don't think he's very old. He's going so fast, I can't
Is the
tell.
one that's going towards Oak Hill? Usually?
Well, when I've seen him, he's coming in,
Yeah,
but
white bike,
If it's that kid,
I've seen him going both ways.
the white bike. He was right there on the corner right before you go to Rickman.
Rickner?
Yeah, Rod Rickman, but it's the house beside it. So it's the one with the has the
Half circle drive in it,
Yeah.
off the side, right next to Rickner's, the White House.
Yeah.
okay, that is.
Is it- Okay. Cause he's pretty good on a bike too, so like fast. He
He'll
goes,
stop.
yeah, I don't know if he will stop. You don't ask me, I don't have a clue.
I know what another one like a couple years ago where the guy took off from me. I didn't follow him and he hit three down there on the curve. Yeah.
About the kid that did the corner at 19 and were you on that one?
Mhm.
Kathy, you're next up.
I did. Oh, I did.
Oh.
I have a little manifesto to read this evening. Last month's council meeting, I was falsely accused by Joe Lennon of making a decision that I did not make. Bryce Blackman had a water line repair, and he stated at the January council meeting, the town paid for it and Seats had it done for him, all on recording. At the February council meeting, Joe Lennon stated, I assume Kathy approved this repair since the council did not approve it. He also stated at the February meeting that the town's been set back by 20 years. I don't know when Kathy started making decisions for the council. I don't believe any of you other council members would assume that I made this decision. Instead of assuming, common sense should have told you if a water line repair was needed, you would go talk to the superintendent, your water superintendent. In the last meeting, Bryce even stated Seats did this. That happens to be the last name of your superintendent. That would then made it very clear I didn't make this decision. I've been here for 13 years, and I do know this type of service has been completed before by the previous superintendent, and it was never approved by the council president. It never seemed to be an issue. to suggest that this situation has set the town back for 20 years seems highly unreasonable. Superintendent Seat sent an email to all council members stating Kathy was blamed for approving Bryce's water repair. That's not the case. He said he's taken full responsibility for that cost, repair, and a decision. It was an emergency decision that he made. 10 days later, Joe Lennon finally responded, stating that the superintendent has never in the past made a decision regarding potential expenditures outside of the normal expenditures. As I already have stated, this has been the case with our previous superintendent. The previous superintendent did make several decisions without the council president approval. Monday evening, Joe Lennon sent an email to myself and the other council members stating he was not pointing any fingers, but we need better communication. If he's not pointing any fingers, maybe he had a memory loss on what he said at the meeting in February, falsely accusing Kathy of making the decision. Seems to me that's finger pointing. I asked for a public apology in the last email. His comment is, I'm sorry that my comments offended Kathy. He never apologized for falsely accusing me. If that is his public apology, I'm not accepting that. I am putting Tyler Seats's email letter along with this letter that I'm presently reading in the record, along with the minutes that will be sent to the state. I hope you council members fully understand. I did not make a council decision that I was falsely accused of by President Lennon. Just think, anyone with common sense would have made a 1-minute phone call to the utility superintendent, and none of this nonsense would have even taken place. And I thank you for your time on this. And I appreciate your president now, and I look forward to working with you, Tyler. And congratulations, Andy. I look forward to working with you. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Kathy. Anything else, town business related?
Not this evening.
Okay.
Next council, I'll have some stuff, and I need to discuss some stuff with you and Tony.
Yeah, there's a lot that came from clerk's conference that,
That we need. I told you a little bit.
yeah, still needs to be digested.
Yeah.
Okay, Tyler?
Yeah, I want the record to show I didn't like you pointing at me.
Your name is
Did she
Steve.
scare you?
I was like,
Please don't
well,
bother me.
let's just jump in, because I have that on my list, because if you want to know the truth, I feel like I made the right decision, and I feel like I'm not going to speak on that, and if we can talk about that later. But there is houses that have our meters, the town's meters, in the basement. We are not licensed plumbers. If those meters fail and a house is leaking water, I think the town board needs to decide, is it something the town is going to handle, or is that the homeowner's responsibility at this point? Because those are our meters, whether we put in a new one or not. And if they start leaking from those meters, it's still the town's meter. I think that is something you guys should. I'm not saying today.
Right.
I think that needs to be a discussion on. We pretty much have a policy. We don't go in people's homes.
Weren't we working on something where we were removing the meters from under the basement?
There's not many left in the
I
basement,
think
are there?
there's roughly 20. give or
Are there
take.
that many?
So
But we're in the process of making that happen where we're removing them from the basement and outside to where they're
I'm
accessible.
pretty sure, well, when I say there's 20 in the basement, I mean, they have meters outside now, but there's still a meter in the basement because we did not go in and take those out.
Well-
The company did not go.
That is still working.
Yeah, so we're not
Working
reading
meters.
them or anything. The water just goes through.
Gotcha.
But-
So I would say that we release that over to the homeowner and let that be the decision whether or not, how hard it would be for us to go in there and replace that meter. I
For
mean,
us,
well, because you're just talking about It's just an inline pipe.
Well, here's where I'll,
Put in on.
here's where I'll.
He's not a plumber.
take back that. It's in the price black. We did that. Our line failed. I paid a licensed plumber to come in and fix that. That was where our meter was. I had Jimmy and Grayson go in with the equipment we had, put a straight line on it where that meter was. That line failed within 24 hours. So as a utility, we have to provide water to the customer. We have. We were not able to do that. I called Summers for $399. They fixed his problem. We did not have the access to fix that. So if it is the town's responsibility, if it fails, then it's going to be $399 basically.
For 20.
If they fail going forward,
What if we just leave them in place and we just vacate that meter? And
that'd be a
becomes
decision.
that becomes
Yeah,
their-
yeah,
their-
what's the process to vacate? And just leave
I have no
give all
idea.
responsibility up to the
'cause
homeowner.
we
if
can't
it's-
shut it off at that point.
What kind,
Well, if they're outside, we can still shut.
Correct.
Yes. the new-
We have a new meter.
Yes, the old
That
ones are
meter doesn't
basically
matter.
just passing water. They're just part of
So-
their plumbing. Essentially.
So the other licensed plumber did not want to take responsibility for his work.
No, so when we did this project, everybody got new meters. The homeowners that were in the basement, they did not go into people's homes and take out the old meters.
But didn't you just say that one of the homes, a licensed plumber went in?
That's the one Kathy brought up. That's the
Something
one
that
that
I
I have-
accused in making that
Yes, because it was,
decision on.
it was restricting the pressure to his house, our meter. So we went in and took it out, which normally we do not go into people's homes, but because it's our meter, it wasn't his plumbing, it was our. plumbing.
So this wasn't the time where Summers was paid to put this in.
Yes,
This was,
Yes.
Summers put
and it
this
was
in
$399.
and it failed.
No, we put it.
That's
in
what
first.
I'm clearing up. That
Yeah.
you put something in, it
Back
failed,
wagon.
we called Summers
Put
and
our
they came in
stuff.
and replaced it for
Like,
$399.
yes,
So that's what I want to, who paid the first bill to fix that pipe and then it failed?
no.
They
so
did.
everybody-
That was our-
They
I'm
did.
lost.
The council, that's why I
guys.
just cleared up.
Jimmy and Grayson works for the town.
our employees. Gotcha.
Yes, they went in and tried to take that meter out and just put a straight line in. The connections we had failed. We don't have home plumbing, we have distribution plumbing. So then, when he did not have water because our line failed twice, I called a licensed plumber who handled the situation. So that's where all that stems from. That's why I think the meters in the basement is a decision that I think you guys need to make on whether it's the homeowner's responsibility or the town's.
I'd say at this point, since our new meters are in, that it becomes that homeowner's responsibility for that meter. Whether or not they wanted to remove it or not.
I would agree. I wish, I don't know if it's just as easy as us making that decision.
I don't know.
That would be,
That
I think, a
answers the
Tony,
You
but,
need a lawyer sitting here.
right. On-
Because that still is a piece of your equipment.
Right.
Correct. So do we then in turn? I think the good answer or fine answer would be if we both vacate responsibility, we vacate ownership or ever trying
That
to
is
get
their meter.
reimbursed from it's 100% their meter and what they do with it. Or else, because it's one thing to do it, but it's another if it, 400 times 20 is Jello, and that's going to add up
Because
pretty quick.
The problem is that water goes into their house, goes through that meter and then into their plumbing. So it's a fixture in their plumbing at this. So if that fails at some
20
point,
pound, 30 pounds.
I asked a question, right? So I'm one of the homes, right? So now, because you guys have made a decision, I have to shoulder the burden of it.
I don't think that decision's been made.
No, if you vacate it.
Yeah.
And it's my responsibility, I have to shoulder the cost because you guys decided to go a different way. I did not make any decision.
Sure. I wonder if it
I'm
would,
not saying it's wrong. I just
Right.
want the
I
other-
wonder if it would be any more expensive than just a normal leak on a typical pipe that you would get.
So, and that's because eventually, if I put a straight line in, then it's less fittings that could break in the future. But I don't know that I like the fact that you guys decided to go with new meters, and so I'm stuck with an additional cost. Because I've got a meter or a system that no longer works that I didn't decide.
can I say one thing about that? And again, this is before our time.
Sure.
Meters should have never been put in.
Sure, absolutely.
Clayton's,
Yeah.
now, I'm not saying one way or the other. I
Absolutely.
just
And-
want
And
my,
it's not unreasonable
Yeah.
for me to assume some of the costs.
100%.
Totally understand.
Yeah.
that. I just wanted to make sure the other side.
What about looking about getting bids to have these removed? Because I know Summer's rate is a lot higher when it comes to,
True.
I mean, there's licensed plumbers out there that we could probably get to maybe do it at, maybe $150.
I think you need a.
Or even-
We're just talking about straight pipe.
Still
Sure.
dealing
Or
with
even-
about
Or
20.
if they get contracted to fix.
Well, you gotta-
Right, they've got like 20 houses on a contract for,
too, so it's.
Right.
gonna-
so
That was an immediate, it's not
So-
a head up.
that's something that we could reach out to
That's
Summers and ask.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I can, if you guys want it, I can find out a quote.
Chris, you can work a subsidy program with the homeowners and say, hey, we have these bids from companies.
Right.
For 2 months, we're going to allow the town to pay half of it and the homeowner to pay half of it, you know.
If that's something you're comfortable with, I mean,
Work with this company for this amount of time. If you schedule with us and say it's a Converse meter problem, we'll give you a discounted rate. Something, you know, there's gotta be a something.
And those that refuse to have it taken out at that point need to sign off that now is their liability.
Or at least give a date, and after the date falls off, whether they sign or not, it's no longer.
Yes, absolutely.
You got the
I like
disposal of the unit, those things are
Yeah.
not 20, 30 pounds.
I think we come up with a good solution.
You
So-
make it clear if you have a subsidy where you pay half and half.
Yeah.
Then, once that's done, you don't have any responsibility going forward if something fails.
Yeah,
So,
that would be clear.
That becomes like any other plumbing issue in your home.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you would reach out and see
Yeah.
if I'll get some quotes about that.
I can do that. All right, so that was the first thing. The second thing I have a letter to all of you. If you want a copy, I'll give it to everybody. Yeah, it's my resignation. So
Was it in there too?
I am fully licensed on the water side now, both
Awesome.
treatment
Congratulations.
and distribution. Thank you.
Well done.
I have to give this to you guys before I submit my letter to IDEM, making me the operator and responsible charge, taking that away from Ed and actually being over the water side. Now, this is not for the wastewater, just the water side. But I do have to give you this letter if you want to read over it. Basically just states that it's our water system. I'll check on it 5 days a week. Hours will vary depending on what's going on. When I'm not here on vacation, more than likely it'll be Donnie from Van Buren as everybody's contact, but most times when I'm on vacation, I'm at home anyways. So that's gonna be a rare thing, but just so you guys are aware, I have to be here 5 days a week to check on the water plant, even if it's driving in, looking at it and going home. We work a 4-day. I have to come in an additional day. That's what IDEM says. So if you guys are all good with it, I'll submit my application to become the operator and responsible charge, which is fully over the water side of it. That's what you guys want.
You need to make a motion on that?
I don't know.
I
Then-
don't think you need a motion.
It's Pence and Sampson.
Yeah, no, we're good with
I
it.
mean, Ed's aware that when I got my license,
that was-
plan, so.
Right,
This has been going on for your, what, a 2-year
2 years.
plan?
I just
Yeah.
worked 2 years this.
I think we gotta make a motion just to have a date, a documented date of the transaction.
I have today dated on my, what's this called? Request to put me in responsible charge as of today. Now with IDEM, it could probably be 2 weeks to 6 weeks before we hear anything back before I'm actually in charge, but I will mail it out tomorrow. So.
Until we get that actual IDEM. Probably not charged. You can assume, but if they don't okay it, then.
They don't okay it. Sounds in a pickle.
Yeah.
Well, you wanna make the motion?
I think so.
Okay.
Second.
Motion made by Don, seconded by Sandy. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
All right, so moving right along, speaking of licenses. I would like, I have talked to Grayson. Jimmy's getting older, you know, he has no interest in the apprenticeship, but I would like to put Grayson in the water apprenticeship. Now that I'm licensed, I can be his mentor. It does not hurt to have everybody licensed as far as I'm concerned. It clearly helped me not having any water experience to passing the WT3 and the DSS. And I am all about this apprenticeship. I think it gives you more knowledge than you'll ever need working here. And I would like your guys' approval. I've talked to Kathy about it. I would get with Kelly from the Alliance. He would probably start this year in the apprenticeship. And if you guys are fine with it, he's on board to do it. I'm on board. And then when I'm actually done with the apprenticeship in June, I'm going to hopefully go straight to the wastewater side as well. So just so you guys are aware, even though I have my license, I'm not done with the apprenticeship and I'd like to just finish it out in June and then go to the wastewater. But if you guys are fine, I'd love to put Grayson in that apprenticeship.
I don't think there's any cost to the town for that, was there?
There's some, but then
Oh.
they reimbursed us $5,000, so it pretty well offset
Kind of a non-issue then.
for the. I think we had book costs was mostly it,
We've
but
already
the
bought the
rest.
books. We have an extra laptop now.
Yeah.
Pretty much, I mean, there may be a cost, but
Mm.
it outweighs what you learn. I'm telling you.
Sure.
right now that if Grayson puts what I put into it, we'll have 2 licensed off. So it's, again, when I get with Kelly, I can bring you the cost and it may look like a lot, but we get money back from, I think it's grants and
Yeah.
she files all that stuff for us and we just have to fill it out. They've been amazing and I really think we should vote that. So
I sure make that motion because the brutal truth is you're a very valuable person. Every town that has water has to have a superintendent that is licensed. Water's number one, not housing, not electrical, water. So now that you've come very valuable, you might get opportunities. So it's nice to have somebody else that you might be able to lean on.
and I've made this, just so you guys are aware. I love this job. I love this town. Every town has issues. I have no intentions of taking on any other water plants or going anywhere. I'm fully happy right here. Like I've explained to so many people, I value my time at home. And yes, I have to be here 5 days a week when this goes through, but I still work a 4-day work week. And yes, I'm on call 24/7, but we get great vacation time off. I like everybody I work with. I like this town board. I have no interest in going. So you'll probably be dealing with me until I get fired. So
Good enough.
yeah, that's where I stand.
Retaining town employees is a challenge because we train them, we give them a little skill and then they're
And you know,
worth more than somewhere else and we can pay them.
my thing is yes, Grayson could get this license and he could leave. Or he could take my position if I decide I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to be a water operator. I want to be a utility. The town has 2 people. But in my position, I will never hold anybody back. So if he gets his license and a year later he says, hey, I got this opportunity to make $100,000. I can't pass it up, so be it. But if we always hold off not training people and putting them through it, we'll never have anybody that's licensed except for the superintendent. And I don't want that. I want
they can
everybody to
always
be
be
as
like-
smart as they can be when it comes to this job.
Make an agreement after we give them this license and for how many years or whatever I mean, I don't know what the cost is of this.
It's a
but,
2-year apprenticeship, so if we want to do a 2-year after that,
I mean, yeah, I mean, that seems fair. And give us
We're
2 years.
investing 2 years in him, so we probably ought to have a sign off for 2 years afterwards.
I also believe he should get a raise.
I would agree with that as
I
well.
would say my opinion would be $2,500 per license per year is what I think is fair. that's a lot of work you put in to do.
Yeah.
And,
A lot of dedication. Yeah, huh.
and there's 2 on the water side, and if he goes wastewater too, so it'd be a total of 3. But he can't do the wastewater side until I do the wastewater side.
The average age of the superintendent of water that's qualified is 63 in Indiana. So there's a huge need. And that's the problem. We train young men and then, or women, and they get better jobs. They don't continue in
Well, I
it.
hate
So
traveling,
there's a
so you
huge,
don't have to worry about it.
well, having you is huge to this town. People have no idea.
I like that put in the record, Kathy.
It is. It is now. Well, that goes with any of the jobs in the town. I mean, once you've got established assets, we need to protect them. Do them well.
So we good on Grayson? I'll get all that information and then you guys can I mean, if you want to wait until I get the final cost and all the paperwork,
Well,
or however you want to do
we
it.
can just at least make a motion, I think, to move them on to the apprenticeship if that's what is needed.
I like that. I
Yeah,
mean,
I'll make a motion. Move Grayson into the apprenticeship.
I'll second. Motion made by Chris to move Grayson forward to the apprenticeship program, seconded by myself. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Keep us updated.
I
Awesome.
will. I only got a couple more things, then I'll be done. Ed Asher, I think you guys are familiar with him. We have broke down the old water meters and they're just sitting there. They're just the casing of the old water meters. The guts are out. It's been thrown away. Offered us $1,000. How do you guys want to sell it to him? Do you guys want to we can take it to the junkyard? I'm fine with selling it to him and getting it out of the garage. I'm sick of seeing it. But
I'm gonna nickel and dime
Yeah.
and try to find a.
if we take it to the junkyard, we might get a little bit more, but we're not talking another $1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, it's,
And it's time, labor, and
yeah, where he can just pick it up and you want to make $200 more, so be it. That's, I'm fine with it if you guys are fine.
Look for a motion to approve that sale.
Well, make a motion to allow Ed Asher to purchase water pump casings or whatever they are for $1,000.
Motion made by Don. Can we count that as motion? Seconded by Sandy. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed?
Nobody wants clutter.
I have 2 more things.
I will say that this might be the first time that you haven't started hey, you've all looked nice today.
I feel like
And that
the
now-
tension's been too high and I just, I need to be done. So looking back to our tires on the backhoe need replaced, the 2 rear ones. Unfortunately, we don't take that. They have to come out and do it. And it's $1,986, but it needs to be done. Before you guys approve this brings me to my next thing. We've talked about spending money and how much everything costs and things like that. From my standpoint, to break this down, we had a probe go out last week or the week before. It's $1,700. We have to have that probe. It's not a question. IDEM requires we test for it. We had to have that probe. 2 weeks later, the meter went out that probe connects to. This is all old equipment. I mean, 20+ years. That's another $1,700. I know it was said that I need to come to you guys for certain amounts, or I don't know the right wording to go about this. We have a lot of expensive equipment and I need to know that I can just order when things are required. When it comes to our equipment, as far as IDEM says, we have to test for BODs and dissolved oxygen. We'd still be down because I'd be waiting on the town board. That's, you know what I mean? I think Kathy's gonna back me up. I've done pretty well with the money as far as it's just finding ways to cut money, finding what we need to spend it on.
Yeah.
our stuff isn't $2,000. We can spend that in a matter of seconds if something goes wrong or we have to have something. So I don't know how, in the past, they just handled it. Just like these tires, this would be, I'm coming to you guys, but I just need to start. I don't feel like I need to come to you guys every time. As the superintendent, I feel like I should be trusted to make those decisions. If I get a budget every year, I'm not exceeding that budget at all. You guys get where I'm coming
Yep.
from?
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
And by all means, I'd like to see that decentralized decision making when with the expert on there. And I think historically it's been $2,000 for department heads for discretionary spending. Whether or not that needs to be increased, that might be a discussion for now or later, or if we need to do an ordinance. I don't think there's anything wrong operating on historical precedents, or if we need to do, I think I know where you're going with this. If you can spend the $2,000 in seconds on something that is needed, there's still some other purchases that he may need, but it was just taken up by an emergency, and now he's got to wait another month to pick up something that he needs. So should we split a 2,000 discretionary fund, 2,000 on equipment, or am I getting too deep in the weeds?
what I think needs to happen is if it is a required item that we have to have, I make that decision. If we have the funds to do it, if it affects our job. I always looked at the 2,000 or 1,000 or whatever it was as if I see something that we want. It's not something we have to have. Part of our, we have to have pH buffers. We have to have solutions. We have to have so much stuff. I mean, one order to Blue Books, $5,000-6,000 sometimes.
Yep.
And that's just like that. For us, we spend money because we're required to. And I'll break that 2,000 in a day. I mean, I really will. For me, I think it should be, if it's a day-to-day operation, equipment wise, that needs replaced. I think I should be able to make that decision, because if I don't make that decision, we can be fined by item. You're talking $1,000 to $25,000 a day from what I'm being told. That's a lot of money because we didn't test for dissolved oxygen or BODs. So I just want to make it aware that our equipment adds up. Our monthly, a lot of that stuff we'll order for 90 days, but it gets pricey. That the way I took it was the 2,000 was a discretionary for if there was a one-off, or we needed new chairs, we need desks, we need something that's going to make our job a little bit easier, but not a necessity.
Do you have a limit in mind, or are you wanting like a blank check that if an emergency comes up for 10,000, it needs to happen?
So,
Or I guess, do you have like an idea of what a potential emergency for finding would cost?
no, but I'll say this, when the pumps went out, and that was what, 12,000 a piece, I brought it to the town board.
Yeah.
When Bryce Blackman's was an outside, that's not, that his water line is required by us. Him disconnecting from us is not a requirement. I brought that to the town board because it was a couple thousand. How do I put this? It needs to be, if I'm the superintendent, I need to understand that I can make those decisions on our equipment. And if something goes wrong, buy it if it's $3,000 and we need it tomorrow, because that happened twice in the last 2 weeks, where a $2,000 will never, it'll never happen for us. It's never been that way. The way it was told to me by Ed was, that's money I can spend on whatever I want, basically. We want to leave
budget
blower.
now, don't we?
I'm sorry.
We have a maintenance budget now that how does he normally get his money? Just through the town? There's no budget for him as far as,
There's budgets in MVH, but as far as budget, there's no budget for water and sewer. It's by how much money you have, what you have coming in. And both guys are great with coming in, even that Tyler over there too. They come in, they check, how much money do I have and stuff. I mean, they are both great with doing this, because I know Tyler was in today over the 1,700 and stuff. But as far as the budget itself that we have, the appropriation,
Mhm.
I put in my computer, water and sewer, because I like to kind of stay within, stay within what we should. So that helps me, but there really is not a budget for water and sewer. I do it.
How do other towns operate with that, with their superintendent? And don't take this as a knock at all.
No.
Do they allow the superintendent up to, let's say, 10,000 or a blank check? How do they?
Be honest with you, I don't know. I don't know if Courtney ever said anything
Well,
to
it could be
you.
one of
on-
those things
It's
where-
not necessarily a blank check. Like I couldn't just go out and buy a back drive. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
It's not.
I would say like maybe proposing, up to like 10,000, anything over that, he would need a couple approvals. And that could be just a phone call away. And obviously you'd be talking to Kathy.
And Kathy will testify. I pretty much ask her every time
Yeah.
I use the
They do.
card,
Both of them.
if I need something. I mean, I don't,
He asked about a flash drive. It's like, go get it. Tyler or asked $20. Do I have $20 to go buy this? It's like, yes.
I think
Yeah.
that's too much micromanaging.
They're
And that's what I don't, I don't want to micromanage by any means. I want the freedom of decision making from someone who knows what they're doing. I have no idea what a good compass point would be on a fund for that. That was my only reasoning, is I don't have a compass point. It's not that I want you to make those decisions because you're the expert.
sure.
Andy
don't
has
sound
a
like
suggestion.
Can I offer a suggestion, some language for a motion? When required by IDEM or the emergency nature of the incident, the town superintendent can, in conjunction with the town clerk, to check on budgeting, spend necessary funds as needed.
Statute, or is that?
It'd be a motion. And then.
You got, yeah.
And then you just say, with the understanding that the superintendent will present those to the board after each instance. That way he's got the quote blank check, but still subject to town council approval.
Right.
Addresses budgetary concerns with Kathy. Doesn't tie his hands
Are
and
you good with that?
micromanage them.
I'm fine with that. I'm not asking to buy any. My point is, I'm
You
just
just
trying
need
to
to
cover.
replace the stuff that are emergencies. that
Yeah.
just has to-
If-
it has to.
We have a pro bill. I want to know that it's not going to be an issue and Kathy get blanked, or somebody else is going to.
It's gotta be put kind of under mandatory spending. I mean, you could have an emergency. And how many people here might not be able to get a hold of? And she could be out today and he's gotta make a decision. I gotta spend that. I gotta get this up and running. I can't leave it down or the fines will eat it up.
This is purely out of curiosity, because I think the feeling of the board is, I think we're all going to be in agreement of making Andy's new, what he said, state statute now. So I can't take credit for that, but 100% out of curiosity, what would be a number that where there is concern?
Is that something we also need to run by the attorney that we actually can or? I don't know.
We can spend our budget.
No, I get
Yeah,
that.
yeah. To answer your question, Sandy, I don't believe we would need to run it by the attorney. Kathy's better spun up on that than me.
I don't think, you don't have to have.
It sounds like
Attorney, that's
he's
up
got
to
a
you
grip on
anyway.
what is more
Right.
emergency than what is like, just off the wall spending.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I can get that answer. That was just pure curiosity, and I don't want to hold up time.
Andy, you might have to repeat all that so she can write it.
Yeah.
I'll get the cap.
Yeah. Can you just write up something for me, Andy?
The recording.
It's not for, she's not changing it.
No.
Just reassuring Tyler,
He's got some,
Right.
here's his boundaries, and he reports back to you guys.
Yeah.
Checks and balances will still.
And if I never, and I've done this before, if I don't feel like I should be making that decision, I always tell them they need to.
You
talk
have.
to the town.
Yeah.
I have always done that since I took over.
You absolutely have.
So
doesn't sound like anything's out of the line, so.
Yep.
No.
So yeah, kind of getting the feeling of the board. Let's see if we get this. Looking for a motion to approve Tyler to make emergency purchases without the approval of the council, and then informing the council of those purchases just for better visibility, and checking with Kathy on that fund can go through.
Yes.
Does that sound about right?
I'll make the motion. I'm not repeating that.
That was word for word what Andy said, guys. Yeah.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Chris, second by Sandy. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed?
Well, you have the power to maintain anything that's running out there. You have the power, as long as we got cash. We don't. And just to bolster what you're trying to say, you don't need approval if you got two bad tires on a backhoe. That's almost safety in itself, not only to the employee, but for the town.
Right. So I appreciate that. I just wanted clarity on that. What else do I got? I've been sick and kids. So I'm just making it two more things and I'm done.
Well, he finally made us $1,000.
Yeah, I know. This is, I promise.
Was this have to be a dollar amount?
Earlier, I'm just gonna make this real quick because I don't have numbers. Earlier, we had an issue at the wastewater plant on our panel. I have called the old software company. They no longer have the software. That whole panel is gonna have to be replaced. And if it goes down, it becomes a 24/7 manned operation. I do not have an actual figure for you. It is going to be expensive. I have talked to Kathy. When I get those numbers, hopefully by next town board meeting, I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be expensive, but we have it covered.
Okay.
And we have to have that panel, or we need to hire, what I say, 4 people
4 people.
to run the 24/7 operation.
There's plenty of retired people. Love power.
And then the last thing I have is we've been getting quite a few calls about the alleys. I think they haven't been maintained over the years. By the next town board meeting, I'm going to get some quotes on companies coming in, and it's basically like a machine that digs up the alleys and kind of smooths them back out. I'm going to get a quote on us buying one and us renting one and see which is the best option, and then we'll go from there. But I do want to make it aware that the alleys are becoming an issue. We're going to address them one way or another.
Are most of these all stone?
No,
No.
there's
So there's both. The paved alleys, if we're not gonna repave them, we can fill them with the cold mix. But
Our big hump in there.
yeah, our cold mix right now is no longer good. It's just like dust. Right now it's like gravel. So I'll be gone next week, just so everybody knows, but they're gonna go get more next week, and then once it warms up.
Is this something called the millings? Have we ever looked at that?
What is it? I don't know.
Millings are what they grind off the street before they repave it.
So the cold mix is like,
Cold mixes.
I think it's a mixture of basically that and tar, and then it hardens, and it's what we put in the potholes, but it doesn't last more than a year normally. I mean, sometimes it'll be 2, but it's a temporary fix until we can pave roads and things like that. But I will bring you guys all costs of the 3 different options, and we can discuss on how we want to proceed.
So you're talking about a scratch bucket for the gravel?
So the
ones?
gravel, there's a machine that hooks onto the back of the tractor, and it's PTO driven, and it turns, and it's got these little spikes, and it basically digs up the alley.
Oh,
I don't know what it's called,
track bucket, or scratch bucket. Yeah.
but yeah, basically, if that's what it is, then yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And it
Well,
goes through and smooths it all.
I will track the work and see what I can come up with.
Okay, perfect.
What piece of equipment is it?
Like-
That's gonna attach to?
It's a Kubota. I believe it's L2600. I think is what it is. Yeah, for that.
Probably not gonna have anything in my place for a Kubota. That was a deer, I could probably help you out.
That's what I tried getting, but the town board was like, no, we want a Kubota last year.
He's got that, wow, that little John Deere.
That's who, we sold it to some guy. That was the one, it was like 1,300 or whatever. You guys approved that. They They did a,
right when you came on, pretty much.
yeah, it was right after I took over.
Mhm.
Mhm. That is all I have.
So all these expenditures, that's why you have a town president. He has a lot of power that he doesn't even know he has. The town president is privileged to a lot of decisions that he doesn't have to go to the board. And that's one of your issues is, well, we didn't know that our town president making all these decisions. He's got that power because he's the one that, he's the president because he keeps his town going. So a lot of issues we got is communication. If you would have gone to Joe, your town president, and said, hey, this is what I did. It was urgent. I didn't have time to call you, but I did it. You would be good. No letters, nothing, because the
Well-
town president has that.
Well,
You-
I'll say this, I feel like I was in the right. I don't,
Well,
I don't agree with the email that was sent to me. That was never discussed with me. That is not what I was told prior. I won't argue back and forth. I'm not gonna get into politics. I feel like I made the right decision.
you did.
feel
You
like
absolutely did.
I would make that decision again. That's why if it is gonna be an issue, basement thing needs handled because I don't think we should go into people's homes here.
We should.
But unfortunately, that was our equipment at that time.
But if you had gone to your president, your back would be covered.
But I didn't feel like I need to. I don't think that's a,
It's
I
not,
don't think
it's
I
not a
needed that.
need, it's the communication.
but if I have to communicate on every single decision,
Well-
then what's the point of having a super?
It's like, you don't have to ask for permission. But you need to let us abreast of what's going on. If we need to raise our water rates, we need communication from you. We need communication from Kathy.
If,
Hey, our bucket's empty. We need to do something.
Sure.
And so then this council puts in the motion of what it takes to raise the rates.
I get
So-
what you're saying, but if I told you everything we did.
Oh,
on a
I don't wanna
daily
know.
basis,
No.
we would be here.
That's why you,
till Saturday.
that's why you got that president. So, so you have the power, anything that's running out there, you have the power to run it. Buy it, keep it running. Back in the day, we used sludge pumps to aerate the crap, the bacteria works and some guy from Japanese, his family ran the waste management in Japan. He said, we use air pumps. We have this mechanism, goes up with air and then it releases the air and the air aerates and stirs and it's cheap. You run an air pump instead of, what's out there. So I went with Ed and we looked at them. That takes council. That's that
100%.
expenditure. So, but now to keep that thing running, you don't need town council. Keep that thing running, buy a new air compressor. You could come to council and say, that thing's a piece of junk. I don't know how you got sold on that, but that was a piece of junk. Those issues are big issues. You need to come to council.
Agreed.
But-
From what I'm hearing though, it just sounds like some of these employees were even afraid to even make a decision on certain items or things without being.
I said, I'm ready to move on from it all. It is what it is.
I think we could do that.
I'm like you. He should have that authority without being.
Yeah, fix it. Like $15,000 flood pump.
$300,000
It's going
back.
out. Do you rebuild it? Do you,
Right.
it's like, you could come to council and say, hey, I need to spend, there's two of them.
When
you know.
it gets up.
When
to
it goes
those
out-
prices, I always-
Yeah.
If I don't feel comfortable and I don't feel like I'm 100%, it'll always come to the council.
Yeah.
That's that's just who I am. So.
Yeah, the thing goes out though, and you buy it.
All right, I'm done. Meeting adjourned.
I forgot one thing.
Oh, geez.
Just kill me.
Oh, yeah.
June 11th, Jake Simpkins contacted me, Abate, which, does fundraisers and stuff, motorcycle. They were doing something in coordination with Jefferson Street and asked if, that evening for a few hours, if they could close down, Wabash there between Jefferson Street and Rachel's to the alley for a few hours while they park the motorcycles there. He already talked to Rachel. She's fine. They're actually gonna use her parking lot for parking as well. I just wanna make sure it's okay. We close that down for that evening for a few hours.
I don't see a problem with
It's a Thursday evening.
it. Do we have to have a motion on that?
That's okay.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Same with the Chris thing. I don't think we're gonna remember that motion on that.
Yeah, it's only half a block and it's all Jefferson Street.
Uh, Tony is unfortunately not here today. I did not receive, I think, anything besides just the typical emails for that, the chicken ordinances. I think that was the only one that he sent.
There was four of them I
Four,
sent.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was you that sent them, the four proposed ones.
It's your guys' choice on if you want to allow chickens within the town court. And Lindsay called me on it. You need to say how many and no roosters. I don't know if you want to wait on it. You guys want to, I told Lindsay at this point, you guys hadn't even discussed it. So
I'll be honest with you, Kathy, I didn't look at a single ordinance. I'll be honest with you on those ones.
I glanced at, honestly,
Didn't either.
Yeah, I can't lie. I fell behind on that one.
But he already drew up an ordinance for chickens? Or we just hate it?
No,
you guys don't have one.
Okay.
You asked me to get you some, so I asked towns and then I emailed them to you. There's like 4 different ones, I think,
That's right.
that I sent to each one, except you, Sandy. I'll get you here. I have mine. Whoops, sorry. There's 4 copies of it. It's something you guys, you don't have to
I
discuss
guess
it
for me,
tonight.
I would
You.
need to wait because
Give Sandy a chance to go over it to see if he wants to allow chickens
yeah,
and
I'll do it.
converts. And that's just what other towns are doing is what I got one. that
Have
said
there been any complaints with them?
No.
We have more complaints that people want them.
People wanting to put them in. Yes, that's what it is.
Because I mean, everybody's wants to have, fresh eggs and I don't know if they're gonna slaughter them. Yeah, but that's because.
We don't have a complaint yet, but what will it cause, you know?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of chickens in town.
There's a lot more chickens in our town than you realize. They hide them pretty well.
it pretty good.
And we had a cow right down the road from you, or across the street from you. You had a cow.
Oh,
back there.
they had a goat in the house one time when I was there.
In the house?
Yes, it was in the house.
But you can't have chickens free range and you can't have neighbors' chickens pooping on your sidewalk, and issues like that, so.
Yeah.
And you can't make it a business where you're gonna have 500 chickens. Your whole yard's full of chickens.
So where do you draw the line? I mean.
Well, we were doing like 6 chicken, or about like 6 chickens. Is that what we were discussing? And
I honestly forgot about that one.
6
on
with
the
no
number.
roosters.
Well, I don't know, what's the chicken gets loose, crosses the road and why?
Lays an egg, who's it belong to?
So. All for future discussion.
Yeah.
He's here.
Table for further. Real quick, one thing before you go into your council.
Yeah.
Thing, I gave you guys all a copy of the Campbell Cruise. He's wanting to put in a sidewalk, which it's always been the town pay half and the customer pay half, so it's $375. You guys wanna approve that for 118 North Madison Street? Is this that
I
one?
don't think I have.
Here, I've got it original here, so. We do this quite often. We don't have a lot of money in sidewalk funds right now because I don't get much in. People must have quit smoking. So that's what the fund is. CCI fund is cigarette fund. I don't get very much money in that anymore, but we do have $375 if you guys want to prove that. For Andrew to do that sidewalk.
I think we did. I'll second.
Motion made by Chris, second by Don to approve. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed?
No, there's something been on
Yeah.
anyway, right?
Yeah, we pay for half.
Yeah.
Business, or do we still need to? Well, that was a new business, wasn't it? Was that it for new business?
I
Okay.
don't have anything.
Moving over to the town council members, Don.
No, not for, no, I'm good.
Uh, I just want to clarify for on my end that is everyone good with me emailing Tony, and Chris will obviously be CC'd. Just for multiple eyes on it and not build that quorum and ghost meetings, I think is what it's referred to, but at least have multiple eyes on it about the questions that I have about Tony that for follow up on the meeting. I don't think we need a motion for that, right? Okay, yeah, just want to make sure that everyone's at least aware that I'll be emailing Tony. That is, I believe, yeah, it for me. Chris.
So, it was brought to my attention on, Ohio Street that, we have a couple of semis parking on Sycamore. I don't know if you guys are
here one day, 2 weeks.
Okay, cause he's around the corner when they're coming down Sycamore around the corner there and they're rolling off and busting that asphalt up. And it's starting to take a good chunk out of it. And it's just gonna keep running over it, running over. It's gonna keep eating and eroding that road.
The one that's there on,
Yeah, because there's a grain truck and there's also a,
the green truck's a new development down there. That was the first time I noticed it last week.
okay. Yeah, he's been there.
But there's the big.
Yeah, it's the big 53 footer.
It's got to find a place to park it.
Okay, good. But I don't know if we have something where they shouldn't be parking because it's actually.
Yeah, there's an ordinance.
Because they're blocking, they're on the road.
Yeah,
So
he likes to park right on the road.
they're not pulled off.
What, on west of town? No, this is.
You know,
My neighbor.
It's just right around the corner from Dawn.
it's down, yeah, it's right down. Ohio, you know where Boardman Gym is, Ohio Street. So it's literally Sycamore in Ohio. It's that first road after you turn off Ohio Street.
The green truck's there at the one.
Yes.
Yeah.
The old Warnick's place.
The dog.
Yeah. Another thing I would like to bring up was, possibly changing the day and the time of our council meetings. I would like to see another day of the Thursdays. It interferes with our church service and I'd like to start attending with our family. So, I have a lot of meetings during the week as it is, so I would like to at least be off on Thursdays and also bringing up the time a little bit earlier instead of being 6:30 so late. So, I don't know how you guys feel on that. We don't have to make any decisions. And just want to put the bug in the ear.
Moving on it is not a problem. My issue might be time because there's some of us that work later than.
Well, I work till 5 now,
Yeah.
so I'll be back in Congress at 5:30.
So, I mean, I would be okay with a 5:30. I don't know what the rest of the board would.
I would be okay with the
Moving it up
5:30.
an hour and different day.
I would be okay
Would
with
6
5:30.
make any difference? Half hour difference?
So I mean, if we do 5:30, that'd be
That's an hour.
Better, yeah.
an hour earlier.
Do we have a potential day of the week?
I would leave that up to
Sticks out
like,
to
I
you?
mean,
Well, what you have people involved that's here every council meeting, you need to
yeah, well, there's other
ask
people
their
involved, but-
opinions.
Yeah,
Saturday's fine with me.
Saturday?
You would-
Okay, Saturday?
That's a lot.
The only
That's
thing
a
that
lot.
might interfere with me is we got circus going on and the night I have my kids.
Right.
Like,
And that happens. I mean, I'm not expecting.
Yeah.
I mean,
If I'll send somebody in my place if I can't make it.
right, that's not,
Any issues from you on?
No, I like it, 5:30. I usually just stay here till council
Right.
anyway.
Do we want to try Wednesdays? Is that a glaring issue for anybody? That actually works better for my schedule, Wednesdays, but
okay, so, because, yeah, that's the other thing is like we have other
Yeah.
town
Are they on
meetings.
Tuesdays or Wednesdays?
But is it,
That's library.
Well, we won't change the.
So Wednesday won't work at all for you.
I'd say we move to planning and zoning before we interfere with council.
is planning and zoning the second, would be the second
Yeah,
Wednesday?
Because we moved it so that it was right before council, so that if we needed to do something, then you guys.
We just
needed-
do it the first week?
Yeah.
Just make it.
First Wednesday of the month?
Ours is.
I'd be good with that because if you don't think about it,
To me, I was just thinking.
first Wednesday of the month instead of the second Thursday of the month.
Oh, I agree with
you, Chris, because I don't want it on a Thursday evening either, because it doesn't interfere with church and
First Wednesday of the month.
First
Yeah,
Wednesday of
first
the month.
Wednesday of the
we
month.
need to make a motion on that.
Yeah. Is there any glaring issues from those that it's gonna affect?
It might be a problem.
Did we give it a month?
Do we want to do it?
To
I
give
mean,
it
we
a
can
month
always
to see,
reopen it if it doesn't.
because we can't, can we think of everything right now? The impact. Well, you're a month away,
It's
so fine with me. I make a motion that we change the date, to Wednesday, first of the month at 5:30.
At the time. Oh, yeah.
Are we gonna start April meeting?
April.
That's the first month, Wednesday or second?
Yes, and that would be in 2 weeks,
I'll second
because
that.
Wednesday's on the Thursday,
First Wednesday.
just so everybody knows.
Well,
What'd you say?
It's the Wednesday is April 1st, so that's the very first day.
I'll be
That would
in Florida.
That's April Fool's Day.
My mom's birthday.
You got anything, I'll bring it up.
Since the next meeting would be in 2 weeks then.
No
Well, that-
matter what you do, it's gonna follow that way.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't say, but
Right.
do you still want it in April for your motion?
Yes.
My second.
Motion made, by Sandy, second by Chris to move the meeting from to the first Wednesday of every month at 5:30. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Let's begin with April, you said?
Yeah.
April, so that'd be 2 weeks. What updating do we need to do to make sure that the public is aware or any up?
I will update it with the girl that takes care of our Facebook, our website, and I will notify the Chronicle.
Got it, and I will
Paper.
add that to my list to email and inform Tony of.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah. if
Okay.
you're emailing Tony,
Does
yeah,
that work
go
for
ahead.
Tony? Tony's a big consideration.
Tony may love it better
Yeah.
because then he's an hour earlier, because a lot of times he goes
But
back
can
to
he-
Peru to stay.
Does he have any other commitments on Wednesdays?
I don't know.
The
about-
first Wednesday.
I don't know about that.
We need to reach out to him first.
Yeah, because
Wednesday's usually.
he's
I-
president of,
I would go ahead and make the motion and leave it there and then let him talk to Tony and see. So if Tony's okay with it.
then we can revisit if it's not gonna work out.
Right.
If he's president of Lions or something, he's involved in other things too, so.
Well, so that's in effect in 2 weeks. I think that wraps up everything. Joe unfortunately is not here today. We are up for adjournment and looking for a motion for adjournment unless I missed anything. Okay, motion for adjournment, second. Signify by saying aye. Opposed?
Wait, I got 2 more things.
I
I like how you started.